Now we're unmuted is a different thing. We are muted.
Oh, we're muted. Are we unmuted now? Terry, can you tell if we're unmuted? Sorry, I thought we were muted. Good thing nobody said anything problematic. We'll get started. Don't forget to turn off your phones and other gadgets that make noise. Any paperwork for us goes to Mr. Curran. We'll begin with an invocation by Commissioner Freeling, pledge by Commissioner Bell. If you wish to join, please rise.
Please join with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with humble hearts, thanking you for this opportunity to do the good for those that we represent, for our loved ones, and for ourselves, for a betterment of our communities. We pray that you be with us in our time as we deliberate on the hard issues that face us today. Give us a heart of discernment. Give us a heart of peacemaking to come at the issues that are before us with open minds, to listen, to deliberate, and ultimately to do your will. We pray that you keep us safe in your hands today and as we leave this room to travel about. We pray all of this in your holy, precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Please follow in concert with me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling,
Present.
Harrison,
Here.
Hinkleman, Majerick,
Yes.
Ott, Pittsburgh,
Here.
Ballrath,
Here.
Werfel, here, Yarborough,
Present.
Elliott.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 10 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Minutes from a week ago need to be approved. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Pitchford. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Freeling. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, is it still 3
Yes.
communications this week?
You received 3 resolutions, all received on October 3rd. One is from Alpena opposing any legislative preempting local control for solar and wind developments. You received the same resolution from Calacosta, and you received it from Alcona. That's all for communications.
Okay, thank you. Public comments regarding resolutions. Ma'am. You know, want to be where the microphone is?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Millen. I'm from the city of Niles at 1310 Oak Street. I also work in their community development department. I'm here today to talk to you about resolutions 313 and 314 that were added to the agenda. The city council over in Niles approved these resolutions and the abatements at their September 25th meeting in order to hopefully spur some more economic development on the city's west side, as well as provide some housing that we are in dire need of on our south side, which is a location that's typically been overlooked by other developers. I appreciate your consideration today, and thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard on resolutions, including the two added resolutions which you just spoke about? All right, I understand from our workshop this morning that there was interest in tabling one resolution for 1 week. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes. Thank you. I would like to make a motion that we table resolution B 2310310.
All right, and per our bylaws, those are voted on without discussion. Is there support for that motion to table the resolution ending in 310 for 1 week?
Support.
Okay, moved by Yarborough, supported by Bell. Madam Clerk,
Are you including the edit? Just table?
this would be a table for 1 week and have it back on the agenda on the 12th. Is that the motion, ma'am?
Yes.
And that's what you supported, Mr. Bell? Okay, so you're voting to table the resolution ending in 310 for 1 week. Roll call when you're ready.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Ballraff,
Yes.
Werfel,
No.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas and 1 nay.
all right. We'll go to the consent calendar then. No one's asked to pull anything. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar, including 313 and 314?
Mr. Chair, I make that motion.
Moved by Freeling. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Majerick. Any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Ballraff,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 10 yeas.
thank you. We'll go to committee reports. Begin with Chair of Personnel, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met this morning. We had a presentation by Lex Winan from the GIS Mapping Department. He went into significant detail about the activities of the department, very informative. We also had a complement change resolution presented by Caitlin regarding the 911 Public Safety Communication Center, transferring an individual within the department, from IS to 911 communications, and also an upgrade. And I think that was also considered by administration, and we concur with that change. Yes, sir. Could you not hear me? Okay. So we did consider that change, complement change resolution presented by 911 and did approve that. And then that we had a presentation from our administrator and participation from our chairman, and that pretty much concluded our meeting.
Questions for PHS? All right, Mr. Chair of Admin.
Thank you, Matt. First in to see us this morning was our 911 director, Caitlin Samsel. And she talked to us about adding an IT position to her staff rather than coming from the IT pool. We were perfectly fine with that, and she left us and went to PHS and talked to you folks about it. After Caitlin, we had the sheriff and the undersheriff did to see us, and Commissioner Volrath would like to report out on that.
We did have the sheriff and Chuck, our under sheriff, in, and, excuse my gosh, really hate cold. Sheriff says they're still working on keeping overcrowding down. We've been near the magic number 341, but, with the prosecutor and the judges working with the sheriff, they're able to keep that number down every day so far. And it's been working out. They've been doing some searches, for drugs in the jail with, Odie, the dog, and Abby's the handler, and this dog is still trained to do marijuana, even though it is legal in the state. This dog can find out if they bring it into jail where it's not legal. So the kitchen prepared 33,000 meals last month, which is a 30-day month, so usually it's 34,000, so we're 1 day short. According to this, the Noxalone vending that they put in the jail lobby in September wasn't even full for the whole month, wasn't in there for the whole month, and they still distributed over 50 kits from the jail for the Noxalone to help save somebody's life once they get out. This report from Peggy should have in your email. The sheriff also wants to congratulate Deputy Anthony Phillips. He's now a full-time deputy, graduated from the Washtenaw Police Academy. There's a lot of figures in here on seizures and some of the drugs and firearms they've taken off the streets in the last month, which is always a good thing. And then the sheriff, of course, includes a lot of pictures of all the things that are going on with the sheriff's department. One thing he wanted to add, we are in need of a couple of cooks at the jail. We need one full-time and one part-time cook. We're short-staffed too, so if you got any ideas, somebody wants the job and wants, just talk to Sheriff or Chuck, and they're looking for one full-time and one part-time cook at the jail, and they always stay busy. So other than that, the report's in your email, and that's about it.
Thank you, Dave. After that, I signed the Sheriff's Department distribution form. This is from the Bering Community Foundation. They fund certain programs the sheriff puts on. This is for expenses through 2023, or for 2023 through September the 25th. This includes a motorcycle lease, honor guard uniforms, training, that type of thing, in the amount of $36,372.01. We are going to have a couple of resolutions for you the next time we get together. First resolution ending in 316. This is to receive $172,375 from the Michigan Department of Corrections. This is for the Community Corrections Program. So it basically funds that whole program. It's paid for by the state. So that resolution authorizes us to receive those funds. Resolution ending in 295. This is an agreement between us and Andrews Lab for them to perform laboratory services for us. It's for the Health Department, the Sheriff's Department. And it is in the amount of $147,818. And that will be for 2024. And that is our report.
Any questions for admin? Madam Chair of Finance.
Thank you. Administrator came in and talked to us. A presentation was made to us by our Equalization Director, Warren Parrish, and it's the approval of millage rates. And we have quite a few pages here that explains the millage and the expected income and all from communities and where it goes. And we want to let you know that on the ballot, there will be 2 millage proposals. My sheet's not quite, it's on the back. I'd just like to let you know that overview of 2023 apportionment report, potential November amendments. Weesaw Township is proposing a new fire millage for 2023 of 0.5000 mills. The ballot estimates $56,189 new revenue in the first year. Benton Harbor is proposing a renewal supplemental operating millage for 2023 of 10.0000 mils. The ballot estimates $1,588,842 in revenue in the first year. And what's going to happen, this is normally presented to us by Director Parrish on our, on our screen. And so we've asked him on the 19th, he will come and he will make a presentation to you, letting you know the amounts and the expected amount. And if you have questions about anything, then you'll be able to ask him. Another report he made to us, and when you said Lex Winan was in your meeting, it was kind of a, same thing. They're working on, and we concurred that they should do this with a new company that will do aerial views. And what these views will do is give us oblique look at the, what Lex Winan normally hires a company to do. And this is something that's been out for quite a while, but it's very, very forward, and it's what we need. And so it will do oblique, let me get to it, an aerial orthogonal. I've learned 2 new words today, probably never get to use them again. And what he's working with is with the townships and where they will pay a portion over 6 years. The county will put in a larger amount, but he's working on that. And it's something very much needed in our community. And I wondered how much would it cost, but it will be no cost to the community. And there's so many agencies that will use this, realtors, public works departments. It'll just add to our plethora of aerial views and things that we have. So that was very interesting, and I look forward to him going, giving that information to you all. And then, and I'm pleased that you're here, ma'am, from Niles, because in our committee, we discussed the need for the approval and concurrence of the resolution requested, and we did pass it. And it was number F 2310-313 and F 2310-314. And so I look forward to the things that you're going to do, making those areas, working with the taxes so that more people will want to do those properties. We thank you, and I look forward to coming to them. Thank you for coming and requesting that. Then we talked with Clerk Sharon Tyler. There is a need for a complement change in her department, and this is to do with that early voting. There is a need for, thank you. There is a need for a chief deputy clerk. Is that what it is?
Election coordinator.
Oh, election coordinator. And she explained it to us and has been working on this for quite some time. Her department is short on a number of people. And this is a permanent position. It's not just during that time. And so we listened, and again, we concurred that
Goes to personnel.
could bring the resolution, or she's going to go to the personnel committee and talk with them too. But there is a real need, and with everything, all the elections and things that are coming up, we need to work with our clerk so she can have the staff that she needs to be able to do all the things that they must do. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. We had a waiver, a request, and it came from the IS department, and it's for, is it Logicalis? Yeah, it's for administrative network switch upgrade, and we agreed with that also. I'm just trying to see if I hit it. Oh, we approved our minutes. And we had a good, I'll go back a second, from Warren Parish, the letter that he put together for the townships to agree to whether or not they wanted the aerial views. And so we're working on that, and he believes that they realize how valuable this will be, and we'll see what will happen with that. I'd like to ask you all, are there any other things that we brought up?
I think I'd just like to highlight on Warren's efforts from the equalization department. He worked with the GIS department to find value in something that we can offer to the local units of government, leading in that way while still being conscientious of the tax savings that it could potentially bring because we're sharing and leveraging and the tool. We saw the presentation as a board on Oblique. And so this is kind of the fruition of that. And so, yeah, he spoke with all of the different municipalities about participating in that. And I think that's a really great thing that that department's done.
Mr. Chair, can I follow up on that statement? So one of the suggestions was having Warren attend one of one of the suggestions was having Warren attend one of the upcoming chamber meetings.
When you do the.
And that is scheduled to occur at the chamber's November meeting. So Warren will be talking with all of the supervisors in attendance. Just wanted to reinforce the statements being offered by Commissioner Freeling and Commissioner Yarborough. Warren's going above and beyond on trying to lower the cost on the rollout of this product. He's trying to lower the cost to the county. He's trying to get buy-in from the local units that will take advantage of the software, but he's really trying to bring value to his operation and all of the local assessors. It's really good work.
Yeah. And when I look here, I think
That's it.
we're through. Thank you.
Questions for finance? All right, we'll go to commissioner reports. Ray, you want to lead us off? When you get back to your microphone.
Sure. I just want to say how I enjoyed being at our MAC conference this week with a number of our commissioners. One of the things that was a highlight for me was being a part of our breakout session discussing the opioid and substance abuse epidemic that we have. And I think Commissioner Warfield was also in that one. And just talking about the efforts being made, partnering with the federal government along with the state and local government to combat that issue. And I also sit on our substance abuse disorder committee through Michigan Behavioral Health with Commissioner Majerick. And it's just good to know that we're trying to combat this issue, but as new drugs are being created and being pushed out into our community, it's also very scary. And so it's just nice to know that it's a concerted effort on all fronts to address that issue. And that's my report.
No report. The only thing I want to say is I want to thank administration committee, specifically Commissioner Curran, for the changes to the resolution. I did sign it. I'm very open to the idea that this board needs to be speaking with one voice. And I do support local control. I want to make sure that our municipalities have the ability to site and zone their own solar and wind. I think it's not perfect. I think there are some things that we could work on, especially in the future, if we want to have these outsized statements about different things that are going through the legislature. But I think whether it's my party, the Republican Party, I think standing up for local government is important. And that's why I signed this, and I'm happy that it went through the full board.
Thank you for that, Joe. We appreciate it. I also attended the MAC conference along with a number of other commissioners. I attended the Public Act 51 funding. There were two parts. The first part dealt with where does the money come from and where does the money go? It comes from a variety of sources, but it also goes to a variety of sources. You think it just strictly comes to the local road departments and road commissions. It doesn't. It goes in a bunch of different directions. Then part two dealt with how the county road departments or commissions, how they actually spend the money. And it goes into percentages on where they should be spending a percentage of that money on, maintenance, rebuilding roads, that type of thing. So it was very, very informational. I appreciated that. I also attended Trends in Hunting and Fishing. It was kind of fun, kind of interesting. The one big takeaway I took from it is when it comes to animal management, like deer hunting, he says, we're not taking nearly enough does. He said, in order to reach their goals in their management, we'd have to take out 40% of the does that are currently in the herd. And he says, most hunters don't. He said, you might take one or two and that's it. He says, we encourage people to take 8, 10. He says, get rid of them. So anyway, that was interesting. And then the other one that I went to was putting more people in Michigan. And it basically dealt with the efforts that the state is doing to try to get more people to come back to Michigan or stay in Michigan. So it was very informative. And then there were, keynote speakers during the conference. So it was a good conference. I haven't been to one in a while, but I thought it was very, very well attended and I enjoyed it. And that's my report.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Kalamazoo and their board. It was a great conference. Best food, any conference I've ever been to, I think, in my life. I mean, the breakfast and lunches were they were very, very well done. And the speakers, like Jim says, all the breakout sessions and things that we attended, and we had, I think, 7 of us. I'm not sure what the final number was, but we did try to get into, every breakout, somebody attending each one of the sessions, so that, we can gather as much information as we could. They will all be on the MAC website, I think, in a week after the conference. So anybody who wants to look at, or if you missed one of the sessions, you can go in there and actually, look at it and see it. So that's my report.
I'll start off with that as well. The Association of Counties meeting, it was very good, as Dave mentioned and the others have mentioned. I attended the roads funding sessions. I attended the opioid, as Commissioner Bell mentioned, and I also attended the AI. That hasn't been mentioned yet. NACO presented some things going on in the AI world and really encouraged us as commissioners to really embrace the AI and get it enfolded into our counties. So much so she recommended $10,000 to $20,000 be put in your 2024 budgets to implement AI within our county in so many different ways. There are cautions, of course, that you got to take with anything, but it is a valuable tool that can help efficiencies and can help staff, especially with staff shortages, to move forward and to do better things and put out better content to do those kinds of things. So it's the only one not mentioned, so I went a little more in depth on that one. Also, we had a public safety meeting yesterday that went very well. Some great presentations in that. And then lastly, I did attend the opioid at the MAC session. And if there are any questions on what's been presented on the opioid task force amongst this commission, I'd really like to see us move forward with the resolution supporting the recommendations from the task force. So I got a lot of more information out of the state meeting that I'd like to see us implement within that. And I'm passing that on to Mac, Terry, and of course, Guy, so that we can bring a resolution forward. I asked in the admin committee of our people today if they had any questions, tried to answer them. If the other committees have those, Terry's on finance, she can probably address in finance, but I'm happy at PHS to address any of your concerns or questions about it, so that we can get that moving forward in the coming weeks. That's my report.
I too attended the MAC conference. A lot of the information is already up on their website for you to be able to go to review if you have questions on any of those specific things. For those of us that attended, I myself will volunteer if you have questions. I answered the ones that I went to. I went to the road funding, also collective bargaining trends, which was riveting. But actually had a lot of great information in there. And I also too attended the AI for artificial intelligence and how it's being utilized in a beneficial way, because I know we've had some conversations of just being cautious in that technology and mindful of privacy and other things. And then, of course, the sessions that we all collectively sat into. I know that Dina Bosworth gave a lot of information on legislative updates. There's some things that are coming down the pike for revenue sharing, local revenue sharing. Again, collective bargaining. We talked about that a little bit this morning. What was that bill, 4438 for collective bargaining? And then there are some other things as it relates to the solar and wind. But her presentation is actually up online and you can look at it. The other thing that was also discussed was affordable housing crisis throughout the state and just finding attainable housing, kind of missing that missing middle of needing to address that, and some of the tools that are being used in some of the counties north of us. And there's some interesting information there. Of course, Berrien County, along with some of our other counties, have been working with Southwest Michigan Planning Commission, Strategic Leadership Council on their housing tool. And so we are kind of ahead of the curve a little bit on that, of just knowing what the needs are collectively here. I also just want to highlight that I spoke at the Kiwanis Club on Tuesday, coming home from the conference, and presented information and an update on broadband. And then last but not least, it's homecoming week for Bridgman, and the junior class won over the seniors in Powder Puff football. It was riveting. That's my report. Thank you. It was epic.
Thank you. I attended the MAC conference also. It was very good, very well done, very, very calm. I guess maybe the orderliness of it.
It was very.
And just a real pleasure. I think what they do, this plenary session, they have you already there. You just got through eating their breakfast and they had great speakers. The people that talked to us at the lunch, or our lunch and our breakfast, was the plenary session. One of the things that I was really struck by and had wondered about it was the bargaining unit. The lady that was the presenter was really good. And she kept talking, and on wherever she would go, there were commissioners on the bargaining. And I thought, we don't do that. We're not on there. But she warned them about saying, I agree. Don't say that. Don't say any of those kinds of things. But it seemed to be all right. And Cherry and I happened to be in the same place when it got over. And we both said the same thing, that we know that we're not on the bargaining unit. And I'd rather not be, but it sounded like whatever they were doing was working. So it's a very good conference and well attended by other counties and well attended by us.
Yeah.
So it was just referenced housing, affordable housing, and Strategic Leadership Council. So just as a reminder, the SLC will host their fall event on the 30th. And I'll get more information out if any of you are interested. I know that housing is going to be one of their topics. So I'll get more information out to you all, but Annette needs to talk with you all about next week's agenda. Annette, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
I forgot to mention this during the requisition review this morning. So you will have your agenda packets by tomorrow at the end of the day. I will be in the office on Monday and Tuesday of next week if you have any questions or problems. But I won't be here for your Thursday meeting. So if you have any questions about the requisition list, that will probably come from Stephanie Carlson, who does the finance committee. You'll need to direct those to either Stephanie or to Brian.
Mhm.
And so just wanted to give you a heads up to look for that on Friday. And then, like I said, I'll be here Monday and Tuesday if you have any questions about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have anything?
No, no, sir.
Madam Clerk, you are on the agenda.
What I'm passing out right now are the ballots for the Board of Canvassers, which were recommended by each political party. They're in line of each preference by the, if you can just hand one down, by each preference of each party. So what I would also like you to do, because I have a vacancy on the alternates in the Democrat Party, if you could, on the alternates, vote for 2 and put as some notation to me that it's to complete a seat for 2025, which Jerry Zirk left vacant. So I know that was a little confusing. So you definitely have to pick one from the Republican Party and one alternate Republican. Then on the Democrat side, I need one regular board member, and then I need one for the 2027 year. Then I need a replacement for a vacancy to fill the 25. And I know it's not on there, but if you can say 2025 alternate where the term ends, does that make any sense? No. I thought, do you wanna?
So are you referring to?
Yes, because
So
unless,
in the lower right-hand corner, there's a box there with 3 names and 3 check boxes.
or put a number 2 for the second, so I know.
Instead of just choosing 1 with 1 checkbox, you're gonna be choosing 2 among those 3.
But
And you're
one,
gonna note which one is for 2025.
good explanation. I know I didn't have that on that, but I noticed I had a vacancy and I thought, that's perfect.
Like that?
That's perfect.
And the other one is 2027?
Yeah, you don't have to put the 2027. I just need to know which one's the 2025 where the term ends. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I stole your
You
microphone.
can have it.
Thank you.
Okay, do we need anything else, Madam Clerk?
No, that's all I need.
All right. General public comments, anything you'd like to talk about? 2 minutes or less, name and town, name and town. Sir.
Michael Haskins, Pipestone Township. With regard to the resolution you tabled for next week, as a planning commissioner for Pipestone Township, with the blessing of our township supervisor, I wholeheartedly support a resolution to this effect. One of the issues that we are faced with in Michigan is the increasing height of wind turbines, which is now over 550 feet tall. We are also faced with the foundations produced to put in such a wind turbine. Standard procedure requires for those foundations to be removed either at ground level or 4 feet below. If you're interested in redeveloping that property for agricultural purposes or development purposes, it will contain concrete figurative landmines. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to be heard? Yes, ma'am.
Hi again, Ryan Millen with the City of Niles. I just wanted to thank you all for your consideration and approval, and I know Niles residents are really excited, so thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Counselor Hager? I still have a problem hearing. And the reason is, I'll tell you what I told you this once before, the way you got it set up. Now, you go to township board meetings and you're not gonna see them like this. They're not gonna be in a U shape. There's gonna be sitting, well, at one time we had them, you guys were all sitting up there and apparently you didn't like it because it was too much of a change. But I liked it because you were able, somebody sitting over there, you had the person sitting over there, you're gonna talk loud enough so that that person over there can hear you. Or I got another suggestion. Since there are only about 5 or 6 of us, why don't we put the chairs right in the middle? Then when you're talking to each other, you got to talk over us, right? Let's solve that problem. And another thing is, a couple of weeks ago, I went down to the beach. I wanted to go walking along the pier, right? Lo and behold, I had to pay $8 to get in. Aren't we paying taxes to support the park? Then why do I have to you're double dipping. I gotta pay $8 to get in there. I want to park in the parking lot and go walk on the pier. Now, when I was a kid, there was none of that stuff down there. Used to go down there, go fishing on Saturday in the summertime, catch perch. Now, I went down there on a different day, on the weekend. They're usually right down on the weekend, they charge you $8 to get in. And the foreigners or the people out of state, they gotta pay 15. That's an insult. Why am I paying $8? Now I'm paying taxes already, see? I went out there, walked all the way down the end. There was one guy fishing. Now, when I was a young kid, there was
2 minutes, sir.
perch fishing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pelzer. Anyone else wish to be heard? Yes, sir.
Matt Kirkus, New Buffalo. He's right. We do represent, he represents half of the population here and I represent the other half. I mean, where's the rest of them? So, it's, brought you some documents here. I'll leave them with the clerk. So share them and spread them. I came in here during COVID and yelled about fentanyl, but I don't just talk the talk. Last Thursday, I got home from work and decided to watch your previous meetings. Since then, I devoted my life to writing this paper I am presenting you now on the opiate settlement funds. I channeled my anger of the world and devoted my last week of my life to write this. And what I view as the most important paper I've written. Please copy and share it. And yes, do vote today to give us 3 minutes to speak. That would be 2 more minutes out of your life and then we could stop complaining. And also, since I still have a minute here, AI. Okay, so, well, first I'll say, let's lay off the lawyers. And then let's retire the words discernment and discretion. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard? Okay, we'll conclude general public comments, other business. While we were listening to Mr. Pelzer, which we always look forward to, I asked the administrator, if you look around the room, you'll see that there are speakers that are receiving voice from these microphones that we have, the wireless microphones. There's 1, 2, 3 on the side to my right, which I guess would be at the south. And then there's 1 on the north side by the camera. My question was, could we add another speaker, loudspeaker, either back in the far corner, which would be the northeast corner of this room, or midway on the north wall to improve the projection of voice. Mr. Peltzer has relocated so that he's on camera. But if he were sitting over at the far north end of the public seating, there is no loudspeaker there. So if it's all right, we can ask our people who do these things if we have another speaker in a box somewhere, and if there's a means to add one to improve the voice projection into the audience. Is that okay? Okay, let's do it. Any other business?
Mac, at 12:30, BC Bit is meeting today. So that's in the Otto Grow Conference Room, or we make it available on Zoom. So that's at 12:30 today.
All right.
That's part of the problem right there. I'm talking to him.
He's the board chair, sir.
Yeah, well, I want to hear what you got to say to him too.
I was speaking to the board chair.
Oh, I'm not supposed to hear, great. Okay.
There's a meeting coming up at 12:30 that's going to be on Zoom. That's what he told me, for BC Bit, which has to do with broadband. You're welcome to come if you'd like. That was it. And then there was a secret part, which I can't tell you, so. Anybody have anything? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, the gentleman that was speaking at the podium, he left copies of something, but he only left 6 copies. So I distributed them to the people up at front. Brian said he will scan them and send them to all the commissioners. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Anything? Yes, ma'am.
The election results from the ballot, Deborah Frank will be the Republican Board of Canvassers for 2027. Thomas Magaguski, 9 votes. Jess Minks with 9 votes for the Board of Canvassers. Our alternate for the 2027 year will be Audrey Lester. And for the 2025 will be Aaron Sal. Thank you. You did that. That's the result. Thank you.
Okay, good to know. If there's nothing else, well, you mentioned BC Bit, and I guess that's it. We'll be back here at 8:35 next week. Bob, safe travels.